Me and Zach are exclusive.
What does that mean?
Just
a situationship.
Shut the fuck up.
No, Trinity. Trinity, you ain't right. You right, but you ain't right. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island USA Season 8 Episode 31. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Also, I was on a podcast earlier, well, yesterday when y'all see this, and if you want to support, go and watch that. The link is in the bio, or you can go to my profile. You'll see it in the collaboration section. Go support my friends over there at Freshly Popped. We had a good time. So, on to this episode. We pick back up with Dylan and Kenzie. Oh my God, I don't care. Don't care. Basically, they're wondering where we're going to go from here. And she's trying to plead with him. Not plead, but, you know, basically she's like, I do like you. I meant the things that I said. And he's going to say in response, you know, the fact that you're upset must mean that you really care. Dylan. Anyways, the villa gets a text that the hideaway is open. Why is Dylan gonna say, should we make our case? For what? For what? No. Shut your mouth. The villa decides to send in Melanie and Sincere. You know, this girl was already in the trenches without sex being on the table. Now y'all gonna serve it to her on a platter? Oh my God.
Cool here for a good time.
Cheers to us.
Moving forward.
Us moving forward.
I'm so shy in here. It's like when you come over to a guy's house for the first time. Like,
Melanie is never coming to her senses after this. Never. They got the freakiest hideaway I've ever seen. Melanie, who is just in a trance when it comes to Sincere. And then they're talking about the future. They talk about the family or whatever. She says, honestly, I don't even think... No. He starts. He says, my mom is definitely going to cuss me out, being like, oh, well, why were you doing all of that? I don't even think that's going to be the case, seeing what his mom has been saying online. And then she's going to say, I don't even think my mom's going to be mad for real. She's just going to tell you not to do that again. Guys, I fear she was always doomed. Trinity and Bryce go to Soul Ties to talk about their relationship. They're happy about where things are going. They do have some distance between them. I'm not sure if I misheard. Is it a 6-hour flight or something like that? But yeah, they do have a distance and they are willing to make it work. Guys, now that we're like really close to the end, the age gap is bothering me more and more. I'll be so honest. It's not that it can't work. It's just you guys know how I feel. Like, people who watch me for a long time, you guys know how I feel about the age gaps. But, all right, Godspeed. Carl and Anaya speak in Say Less. They say that they're happy that they got to pursue things for a second time. They also have distance, like Trinity and Bryce. She lives in Georgia. He lives in Nantucket. He goes to school in Denver. I think Denver is in Colorado. I feel quite certain about that. So he says he has to stay in Denver for the next 3 years to finish out his schooling. And she says she doesn't mind going to visit him. I didn't hear him say he plans on visiting her. I would assume that he said it. But I point the fact that he didn't say it because after that, he said in the beach hut, I think, that long distance hasn't worked for him. It can work if, you know, all parties involved are willing to make it work, but it hasn't worked for him. And he's also in school. So in my head, I'm thinking, is this the soft launch of things fizzling out? Like, I don't know. I don't know. To the Karnaya fans, literally relax. Just pointing out things that were happening in the episode. Okay. Yeah, if things don't work out and it's because of the distance, we can refer back to episode 31. But yeah, we'll just have to see. They talk a lot about how they're good on paper. Things are so great. They feel comfortable with each other. So I don't see why it can't work, but something to me sometimes with them just feels like it's missing. I don't know. But anyways, then we have Dylan and Kenzie, who are still frustrated with each other after their conversation before bed. Zach and Kata wonder if Sincere and Melanie are going to smash. The answer is yes. Now, they're going to front like nothing happened, but these two have been on each other from the beginning. You think they were going to go into the hideaway and speak? Absolutely not. So then Kata is in bed and Zach is asking her how Trinity felt about the announcement, the fact that they are now exclusive. And she's like, yeah, she said it was a situationship and I don't like that. And this is going to be the beginning of Kata's frustration. She's going to drag this to hell. Drag it to hell. In the night, Anaya gets a text and she has to wake up all the girls so that they can go for a day out. I love that they sent the girls this time. Last time it was the guys going for basketball. That was boring as hell. At least watching the girls at the water park, that was fun to me. Did anybody else get flashbacks to Nick and Sierra's dream girl date? Oh my gosh, guys. It wasn't even happening, but I felt like the energy of the date happening. I was like, this is, whoa. But anyways, the girls had a good time. While the girls were away, the guys are talking about how, they're so chill now. They don't have to stress about getting the girls breakfast. Zach even goes as far as to say, the sky looks bluer. I said, wow, bluer. Okay. They're then going to say, you know what, when we do think about it, it's nice to care for somebody. Bryce in particular says he loves caring for people. He loves showing up for his girl. The guys do agree. Zach says, when you cook for somebody, it really shows them that you care. So riddle me this, Zach. When you withhold food from your partner, what does that mean? Okay. Anyways, Kenzie says she's unsure about where things are going with Dylan because he's pissy about her past. Back at the villa, we have Dylan who says, all I want is for her to be accountable. How about you be accountable for the fact that you attached yourself to a woman who was exhibiting behavior that you had already seen and now you're upset for whatever reason? Don't get me wrong, he is correct. The things that he's saying are correct, but it's hard to have sympathy for somebody who knew the situation they were walking into and walked into it anyways. Might I remind you guys, this man brought up Sean. She wasn't even in a couple with Sean, but still, he went so far back as to pull Sean out of the hat. The man has seen it from the jump and you still went for the girl. Now you're complaining about things that you already saw. Please don't piss me off. The women are like, listen, he's just gonna have to move on. Like, either get with it or get gone. Then Tiara is asked how things are going with KC. And she's like, honestly, I love me some him. And Anaya's like, love? You love him? She's like, yo, slow down. Slow down.
Love.
Not, okay. I'm not in love, yeah.
Yeah, he really likes you.
He'll be the first person I'll bring home. Yeah. I feel like he's the first guy that, makes me feel wanted. He wants to be my family. He deserves this. He really do.
Damn you, Tiara, because she got me emotional at this part. She got me emotional at the end. I said, Tiara, you growing on me, girl. You growing on me. You growing on me. So Tiara says that this would be the first time she's invited somebody to her home. This would be her first real relationship. She hasn't had feelings for somebody the way that she's had feelings for KC. Girl felt. To the people who know my story, I met and married my husband in 11 months. So sometimes when I see these couples move so fast, I'm inclined to judge. And then I think about my story and I'm just like, shut up. You're not in a place to speak. You're really not in a place to speak. But it was nice to see her, get vulnerable with the girls. Like, we've seen her already talk about the fact that she doesn't have many girlfriends back home. So her finding these connections in the villa was nice to see. I hope that she's able to walk away with more friendships from the show. Yeah, TT, you know what? I think you're quite misunderstood, but she definitely grew on me. Anaya says she's happy with Carl, and she says that the future is bright. Trinity says that it made her nervous the way that Bryce just looks at her so intently, but she does love how weird and quirky their relationship is. Who is Maya? Okay, that's supposed to say Kata. Kata tells the girls that she has some big news. She has some big tea. It was not received well.
Me and Zach are exclusive.
And it's not a situationship.
The situationship is messy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We're genuinely only dating each other. Talking stage.
Yeah, they're heavily talking.
He locked it down, but you gotta lock it down.
Okay.
Like, let's be for real.
If you like it, I love it, bitch.
If you gotta explain this much, Trinity's correct. The only girl who agrees with Kata is Kenzie. It sounded like Anaya wanted to agree, like, oh yeah, well, if you're exclusive, that means you're dating, right? Like, yeah, that means you're dating. But even in her mind, she's not fully on board. I agree with the girls, like, these extra steps, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. No, we're talking. No, we're not talking. We're friends with benefits, situationship, exclusive, closed off, all this kind of thing. Like, this is a discourse that happens all the time with Love Island because there are all these extra terms that are just fluff. Trinity could see that Kata was getting irritated, so she just ended up saying, baby, if you like it, I love it. When somebody says, if you like it, I love it, especially if it's a black person, that means they hate it. But best of luck to you, Kata. Back at the villa, the guys are making this plan for a scavenger hunt because KC wants to make Tiara his girlfriend. He wants to do the grand gesture. Scavenger hunt is Love Island core, so a lot of people online, well, I'm saying a lot of people online, it's the people in my group chat, they're saying that people are calling this like scammy. I can see why people think that. We're near the end, you know, people need to make it seem like they're in a really solid connection. So I can see that. But also there were plenty of opportunities for Casey to save face in the villa. And even at the face of adversity, even in the face of adversity, he chose the path of most resistance. So I'm inclined to believe that he's not scamming. I think he really does, you know, like Tiara. He really does want her to be his girlfriend. Like, I do think that he means all of this. So they're planning all of this. The guys are chilling during the day. The girls come back from their day out. They tell them that they went to the water park, and the guys are jealous, but, well, sucks to suck. Melanie and Sincere talk about their time in the hideaway. Basically, they said that they did the do. He says, I didn't tell the guys, and she is shocked, but he's trying to change. He's trying to be a better man. He's trying to be more honest by way of lying. But, you know, let's... Kata is so upset that she's talking to Kenzie, of all people, about this whole situationship closed off thing. And she's like, what's upsetting me is the fact that the girls are making it seem like I'm in a messy situation. Literally, nobody said it was messy. The point that Trinity's trying to make is that if your relationship is undefined, it's a situationship. And I guess them calling it exclusive is a definition. Saying that we're only going to date each other is them setting parameters. But I can also understand why Trinity's like, okay, but like, what does it mean for real? And Kata has struggled to this point to give Trinity a definitive answer. Zach joins them and he's like, I don't understand why it's a big deal. We understand what we have between each other. For people who don't care what other people think, they constantly bring up what other people think, don't they? In the evening, the guys are asking Sincere what really happened in the hideaway, and he's sticking to his story. He said, all we did was talk. Mind you, this girl was in the hideaway talking about don't stop talking. Anyways, he says he's not going to divulge information because he wants to respect Melanie, and I really appreciated that. We also have listen, Trinity gave Anaya one of her wigs, and before the people go in a frenzy because I'm talking about Anaya's hair, I've literally never mentioned Anaya's hair. But I am so happy Trinity gave her one of her wigs. Cut to Kata. She's crying. She's crying because she feels like Trinity. She feels like Trinity is on a high horse and is judging her because she's in a relationship and Kata is not.
I just like wish I didn't tell them, honestly. I'm always like so happy for everybody else.
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't even fucking matter what they think. I feel like they're both kind of acting like that. Kind of an arrogant thing, maybe, I don't know.
I love my bitch down, but that is a situationship.
Just say y'all boyfriend and girlfriend.
Heard of it before, but I don't ever get that shit.
I'm sorry, I'm not just gonna fucking call someone my girlfriend here for the sake of it.
All of a sudden, all the girls want to be honest. Where was this all season long? Like, we got it at the beginning there when Kata had checked Melanie to talk about that's fake love. But from there, the girls have been saving face. And I'm glad we're getting some honesty for once. Even in yesterday's episode, yeah, Kata was kind of showing her ass a little bit, but I was glad we're finally getting some honesty from the women. So Kata says that Trinity's on her high horse and it's not fair for Trinity to judge the pace that she's on. Just because she's a girlfriend doesn't mean everybody has to be a girlfriend. And I'm just like, it is rich for you to say that Trinity's on her high horse when you were the same girl who just yesterday was saying, oh, Anaya and Carl are up there above me? Casey and Tiara are up there above me? Don't you think that's you being, okay. Anyways, also when Trinity brought up the situationship thing, she never slandered your relationship and she never put her relationship into the equation as a comparison. She never did that. So Kata is projecting, okay? Then we have Anaya, Melanie, and Trinity in Say Less, and they're just like, we don't understand what it is. I identify as a millennial. I'm 96. I don't even know if we are millennial, but I identify as millennial. So it was so good for me to see a younger demographic be like, now what the hell is all this in between shit? No, seriously. What is the point of all these extra like, this generation is so non-committal. It is so non-committal. And we're creating extra stages for what? I get what Zach and Kata are saying. If we're not in the place to be in a relationship, but we want to find a way to say that we are committed to one day reaching that, they have to kind of put a name on it. I get that. 100% I get that. But I also get what the girls are saying when it's like, okay, well, if you have all the elements of being in a relationship, then just be in a relationship. So then the girls end by saying, you know what? If she's happy, then we support her. We just want her to be happy. And that's the problem that a lot of these girls have been having throughout the season. You guys are telling me, right? Lies, deceit, misogyny, whatever, all that stuff has caused a lot of heat, a lot of chaos, but you still were saving face. You draw the line at situationship. The campaign that the girls have been driving for Melanie and Sincere would have been the same for Casey and Anaya if Casey came back alone. It would have been the same. But it is a situationship that causes you girls to finally be honest with each other about how you feel about your little connections. Wow. On to the couple that's actually willing to commit. We have Casey, who's finally enacting his plan to make Tiara his girlfriend.
It's pans.
Why are they being weird?
Fire pit, maybe?
What are you doing?
No. What's that? Is that sand?
You really don't talk to me.
Don't say that.
Where
I
are
don't
you
know what's
going?
going on. I'm just leaving, bro.
Bro, don't make me cry.
What are you gonna cry?
Will you be my girlfriend?
I'm a girlfriend!
Great timing.
So I'm double-minded, as I often am. I know a lot of people don't like that, but that's just how my brain works. My surface levels, this was so cute. This was so cute. I shed a tear or two or three. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Her screaming in excitement and her talking about this is gonna be her first real boyfriend. I was like, oh, so great. Then the deeper side of me started to think, started to engage. And when he was in the beach hut talking about Tiara, it was all about, and this could be editing, obviously, guys, obviously. It was all about what she does for me, how she makes me feel. She makes me feel this, she makes me feel that. And then when he was also speaking to, I think it was Bryce, when they were sitting in the stand, he was like, yeah, I think Sincere. I was like, yeah, I think she's proved herself to be worthy of being my girlfriend. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. I think the reason why the scene still touched me was the fact that with KC, you can tell watching himself back truly disgusted him. If you guys were watching the UK, oh my God, there's a guy on there, his name is Sean. They watched him saying like wild stuff in Casa Amor, even before Casa Amor, and he was so apologetic, right? But the girl, she's so deluded. She's like, oh, it's not real. What I saw is not real. And he's like, yeah, you're right. It's not real. This show's trying to paint us to be, the bad couple. Like, they're out to get us. What? So at least Casey was able to watch himself back, realize that is him. There is no ulterior motive. That was him. Those were his words. Those were his actions. He was disgusted. He was remorseful. He apologized. And even when he's talking to Tiara, he's like, I want to turn over a new leaf and I want you to be on this new journey with me in this new chapter. So I do think that he is actually on the path to being better. My through line with him was basically that he was a dumb young kid, like just saying stupid shit. And oftentimes it did come across like, hey, are you a bitch baby? What's going on? Goodness sakes, the things he was complaining about in Casa really gave bitch baby. Shout out Olivia Pope. Listen, of all the couples that are left, they're definitely at the top for me regarding longevity. Absolutely. Zach and Kata, good luck. Stranger things have happened, guys. Taylor and Clark are still together. So there you go. The next episode is going to be the family day. Unfortunately, we don't really get a lot of honesty from Family Day. We get a lot of saving face, especially because people are close to the end. They don't want to, ruin the chances for their family member, but we will see. And then you guys were also tasked to vote for your top 4 couples, I think it was. Let me know who you voted for. I don't know why they're making it 4. Doesn't matter. Let me know who you voted for, and we'll see the results on Friday. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.